Welcome to day 7 of me building two B2B SaaS businesses at the same time without a technical background. Um, Today's Monday, the 11th of August. It's a planning day today. Now, I've got a big challenge is I get easily distracted. I've got many different things going on in my mind. So I have to break the business down into chunks, um, both of them. And I'm doing the same thing across both businesses so I can kind of stay compartmentalized. So I break it down into 5 categories. I've got marketing and lead generation. I don't treat them as the same thing. I treat them separately. And then I've got sales operations. That's the actual platform and performing the duty that it's built to do. And then finance. So the reason I break it down into those is because I have a task that I think that I need to do, and I go, right, where does that fall into each one of those tasks? So over the recent weeks is with 6 sides, Mitchell, my co-founder, he's been looking after the operations, like building the platform. So it was, really vaporware. It wasn't ready to go out into the market to mass do sales or lead gen. So it's kind of been parked. We've been doing some of it with our first degree network, and we have got a certain amount of pre-sales, mainly through referrals, but it wasn't ready to go out to the market. But that is coming to an end now, where we've just released a version to the App Store in Apple, and the Google ones going through the processes now. So now we're ready to start transitioning into the lead gen side and then marketing. And then Deal Buddy is I'm using an agency to develop that. So that's at a stage now where nothing else will go into that for a while until I make that a commercially viable. So now I'm starting to work into the sales and lead generation. Now, my ideal customers with Deal Buddy at this point in time are sales teams or growing startups or tech businesses that may be, seed, Series A, looking to expand into other regions, who may be having challenges with sales teams. So that's where my lead generation strategy that I spoke about last week is going to focus on. Now, if you obviously you probably haven't watched that. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do deep research into certain businesses, create a report, and then I'm going to actually get in contact with the founder or sales director and send it to them and say, hey, I'm going to guess that could be having these issues. This is how I might be able to help you. So I'm actually taking a very different approach to lead generation that certainly doesn't scale, but if 1 or 2 of those clients pay off, it is certainly worthwhile because there'll be substantial revenue, right? So this week, I'm going to be concentrating mainly on the lead generation part of both businesses, so I can actually get economies of scale, learn from one to the other, so it's, in my mind, when I switch from one task, one bucket to the next, it takes a little bit of time for my, me to be able to pick that up and become productive. I'm very single task orientated, so it takes me a little bit of time to change. Now, it's also finance day, so I currently have my wife working in the business. She works on Mondays. She works with our accountant to make sure everything's okay. So, and we're looking at costs. So to help me be a bit more task orientated and less distracted, I'm running a Trello board. So this week as well, I've got some AWS credits I want to apply for to reduce our costs for 6 sides. And then I also want to get both businesses inside Deal Buddy to run them as a client for the platform to help me be more aligned, give me feedback, and help me improve how I approach businesses. And that will also help me build more of a demo environment for when I show people Deal Buddy in time. Now, there's a couple of big ticket items for Deal Buddy that I want to tick off, and that is bringing on some more clients. So I've got one of my major clients coming onto the platform this week. So their founders are coming on board, and then they've got a sales team and account managers of another 4 or 5 people who hopefully would be coming on board in the not too distant future as well. So that's me for the week. I'm concentrating this week mainly on lead generation, and which will hopefully move into the sales process and then getting people on board. And then out of that lead generation process, I think I'll take some of that content and use that for marketing later on. But currently, I need to fill up the pipeline for both businesses to start generating more revenue, Because as I've spoken about, I'm bootstrapping both of these businesses and I really have to focus on revenue. And that can be stressful. It is pretty stressful. So this is where a lot of my attention is this week. So if you're thinking about building a business or wondering how to do it, or, or some mistakes not to make, I encourage you to come back, maybe subscribe. Yeah, thanks, and I'll see you tomorrow.